Welcome, everybody, to our October 21st City Commission meeting. We'll call the meeting to order. And if you will please stand if you can. Nikki will lead us in our invocation and Pledge of Allegiance.
Let's all take a moment to reflect together and begin this meeting, each according to our own individual beliefs and intentions. And consider offering a moment of silence for the passing of General Colin Powell on Wednesday. Amen. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Nikki.
And I'm sorry for my mic not being on, Justin.
There's always going to be someone.
Yeah, it's usually me. I'm glad, Nikki. Thank you.
All righty, we'll head into presentations, and that is Dyslexia Awareness Month. I will turn that over to Vice Mayor Gao.
Thank you, Mayor, very much. I would like to invite up Hema Adia. If you would approach the lectern. Hema is the principal at Elijah Nelson Elementary School, and she is here to accept the proclamation.
Very nice.
Dyslexia Awareness Month. Whereas neurological in origin, dyslexia influences the way the brain processes information and is characterized by difficulties with reading, writing, and spelling. And whereas dyslexia has no relationship to intelligence and affects approximately 1 in 5 people, those afflicted must overcome challenges in school, work, and personal growth. Whereas early identification, alternative instruction, and extra support from friends, family, and teachers can contribute to the success of dyslexic students in the classroom, in life, and later on in employment. And whereas many people with dyslexia have gone on to accomplish great things, among them the many dyslexia success stories are Thomas Edison, Steven Spielberg, F. Scott Fitzgerald, Charles Schwab, and Jeff Gao, and whereas greater recognition and understanding are necessary to ensure that individuals living with dyslexia are accurately identified and provided with appropriate services to lead productive lives. Now therefore I, Jeff Gao, by the virtue of the authority vested in me by the Mayor of the City of Dunedin, and on behalf of the entire City Commission, do proudly proclaim October 2021 as Dyslexia Awareness Month in Dunedin, and we encourage everyone to learn more about dyslexia and to celebrate the many achievements of adolescents, students, and adults with dyslexia. Thank you very much.
Thank you. May I?
Yes, please.
Thank you so much. This is such a proud moment for me because all this month at Elijah Nelson Elementary, we have been celebrating dyslexia. And for us, it's a time for celebration because there's awareness. And so every year in October, we celebrate dyslexia. We wear red on a day. So you're wearing red today. That's great. Red is the color for Dyslexia Month. So we wear red. We celebrate. We talk about all the successes, all the successful names, all the people that you mentioned, including yourself, that it can be overcome. And one of the things that we celebrate most at our school is the awareness that we can overcome this because of the great tools that we have. And so the fact that in our Center for Literacy Innovation, we have specific targeted interventions for our students who need that support. And one of the biggest thing that we hear from our parents is that how much the children love coming to school. So I want to thank all of you today for this step and for recognizing this in the city of Dunedin and the community at large. Just really, really appreciate it. We were one of the first centers, the Center for Literacy Innovation, to be established in our area. And now we also have the Palm Harbor Center for Literacy Innovation for the middle school section, and then yet another one in Pinellas County, in South County at Midtown Academy. So now there's 2 more that opened up this year, and we're very, very proud of the work that we're doing here in Pinellas County Schools. There's different counties that come to visit us because they're learning all about it and how to follow. So thank you for the great step today and for continued support. We appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, and thank you, Vice Mayor, for sharing that little struggle that you had in your life.
You guys really have no idea that the biggest fear I had once I got into this position was reading the proclamations. And if you notice, that's why as soon as I get here, it's like, where's my proclamation? Because I need to read it over and over again so I get comfortable and get the rhythm of it. And when I was born, I attended kindergarten at First Baptist Church, where the Wood Street parking lot is now, and had the pleasure of a kindergarten teacher, Ms. Northrup, who in kindergarten was able to identify the dyslexia. But the challenge was, it was 1965, and there wasn't any type of support mechanism at all. And so that's why there's a phrase, you can even get it on T-shirts now, that certainly fits me. And there's a slogan: dyslexia doesn't come with a manual, it comes with a mother.
I knew it.
Oh, dang. Comes with a mother that doesn't give up. And that's what it takes. But thank you guys very much.
Okay, I can never see a person cry and not cry myself, and you used
But
all the
I
darn
took the last
tissues.
tissue, I know.
I'll cry. Well, you drop one on the ground, but I'm not using that one.
Good, because I just stepped on it. So
Oh, there.
here it comes.
Oh, good.
I'm sorry, guys,
It's all right.
That was beautiful.
but thank you.
Okay. All right, now is the time for citizen input. Anybody wishing to come forward and discuss any topic that's not already on the agenda. If it's on the agenda, you'll get a chance to speak then. All right, well, come back to our action items. Excuse me. We had the first reading of Ordinance 2129, which is the execution of the development agreement with the city of Dunedin and the developer of the Causeway Hotel. The applicant has requested for this item to be withdrawn. Does a motion need to be made for withdrawal?
No, no, I think this is the city manager giving you information that that request has been withdrawn.
Okay, so we just move on to the next item. Okay. And then we have a start item, City Commission preliminary approval of development agreement negotiations, new negotiations for the J Hotel at 491 and 469 Causeway Boulevard. I need a motion to add this to the agenda.
So moved.
Commissioner Franny,
Second.
Commissioner Kynes. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. So Jennifer, did you have an opening for this at all?
Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners, thank you very much for allowing us to put on the start item pertaining to the Blue Jays Hotel. After the City Commission meeting, the last City Commission meeting, there was some discussion with the applicant in regards to moving forward in addressing the City Commission's comments during the course of that meeting. And as a result, they withdrew their original application and have placed another application before the City Commission this evening, which Joseph DePasqua will describe.
Okay. Welcome, Joey.
Thank you. Good evening, Joseph DePasqua, the Assistant Director of Community Development on behalf of the Community Development Department. And so, yes, we have an item this evening, a start item, where the applicant, as just mentioned, withdrew their current application, which was to do a development agreement negotiation at the property at 491 Causeway Boulevard. And as many of you know, with all the dialogue that has gone on with this project, is that the applicant has placed the property at 469 Causeway Boulevard under contract with the intent to develop a master site, as discussed during the first reading that was continued till this evening. And so the applicant will be requesting ultimately a design review approval to build a 3-story hotel with up to 75 rooms on the subject properties, meaning both parcels. The subject properties combined are about 1.25 acres, located within the commercial general future land use category, which does allow, as you know, the same as the 469, that there's same land use and zoning on both parcels. So you do have that same 40 units per acre by right for temporary lodging. And then you can make a request utilizing the alternate criteria found in the code for up to 60 units. Again, that discretionary is between 40 and 60. A site of, just so everybody understands from just purely mathematically, a site of 1.25 acres would support 50 hotel rooms by right using the 40 units per acre and a maximum of 75 hotel rooms. And I think the discussion is going to be where do we end up between those numbers. And that final number would of course come back in the form of a development agreement coming back through the same process we've just essentially has just been withdrawn. We'll start our negotiations if approved this evening and would be brought back to the City Commission via an ordinance after it goes to the LPA, after it's been negotiated. And again, same criteria, the development agreement is necessary because the request is going to ask for more than 40 temporary lodging units per acre. And they're also going to have to, of course, execute the same covenant with regard to hurricane evacuation because both properties are naturally in the same evacuation level A. So with that, you do have in your backup the request from the applicant, from Mr. Anderson. We did receive the fee of $5,000 to begin the negotiations of a new development agreement for the master site. And we did get authorization from, or Mr. Anderson received authorization from the owner of record of 469 Causeway Boulevard to act as the representative in these negotiations.
Thank you, Joey. Before I ask for questions or anything, either Jennifer or Nikki, I think it's important for everyone to understand the difference of what we're doing today versus actually approving a project. You know, the development agreement doesn't mean we're approving anything.
So today, staff is requesting that the city commission authorize the city manager to negotiate the development agreement.
Right.
And this is step one in the development agreement process to initiate bringing it back through LPA, through an ordinance, so this is just the
Through
first step to,
architecture, many public meetings.
right. This is just the first step to authorize the city manager to go back and work with Mr. Anderson and their team on a proposal for a development agreement for the entire site.
Okay. So,
Mayor, if I may, it's also going to have to go back to Architectural Review Committee.
right.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. Okay. So now's the time for us, well, to ask questions, but also if there are any issues of concern to express them to you now before you go negotiate.
Yes, Mayor.
Okay. All right, I'm going to start with Vice Mayor.
Mayor, I do not have any questions.
Okay. Any, okay. Commissioner Freni?
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't have any questions. I just, obviously, I'm the Toronto Blue Jay liaison, so I've had some conversations strictly about the density issue since that's legislative with them, so I understand their needs and also have expressed that I think what's true of all of us up here, we're balancing that important partnership with what the rest of our job is. And so I think I'm just going to reiterate what I said at the last meeting, that I felt like there was just too much crammed into that piece of property. And so whatever that balance, that right amount of units is, you know, Jennifer, leave you to kind of figure that out. But I also think, you know, how the project does look, even though that's not what we're talking about, but how that is designed and the ins and outs and the creativity of how it, you know, doesn't look massive in that spot is really, really important. And then obviously the neighbors and how they're feeling about it. And we already know the traffic would be fine. I mean, it's not an impact to traffic, but all those things I think are, I'm just expressing what I said before. And by having this extra land, you know, my hope always was that it just gives some breathing room to this so that it can look right and fit right on the Causeway. And so that's kind of my thoughts and direction.
Okay. Commissioner Kynes?
Yes, Joey, what'd you say the swing was? It was 75 on one end. What's the swing
that you're looking at, that you might be negotiating on?
So using the 40 temporary lodging units per acre at 1.25 acres, that would yield 50 units maximum. And then at 60 units an acre, you could go up to 75. And that's the negotiation portion that essentially it requires the development agreement when you invoke that request to go above the 40 units that are allowed by right in the land use.
So is the swing between 60 and 75? That's what I'm asking. What's the
Above
swing?
50 and up to 75.
Okay. Are we on questions or are we commenting? You know,
You
I
can-
always,
you can- you-
I always
go-
get a
no,
little
you-
confused.
Go ahead. I am going to ask for public input, so we don't want to make a decision until we hear that, but you can go ahead and,
No, I'm just going to
express your
say that
whatever.
I do think it was appropriate that we look at both parcels. And I do think that was a better master site plan. It's better. Still have some concerns, and that's it.
Commissioner Torngo?
If we're asking more than questions now, we're making comments?
Sure. Well, giving your direction as to what you want to see out of it to Jennifer,
Oh,
sure.
Okay, well, I guess they're bringing this back as we kind of communicated that we wanted to, how we might want to see this, because there was a little bit of frustration. So I'm just happy that they're bringing it back this way, and looking forward to hearing more about this.
I do appreciate that the developer listened to what we had to say and that we wanted to look at the site holistically. I think we were all hoping that by having the two properties, the mass and scale would get a little bit smaller. So I think Jennifer's hearing from all of us that that is a concern. We also recognize what the needs are. So, you know, we'll look to you to find the balance there. I think regarding the architecture, I think it's going to be really, really important because currently the way it's designed is there are long buildings, and it's going to be really important that the architecture breaks up the look of that long building, maybe with punch outs or step backs or something, you know, to where it does not look like just one long row, flat wall row house, because they are big buildings, if this is indeed the way it's going to be done. I know this is just an option, and we don't know that yet. But I just want to put that out there, because I know that that adds expense, and I understand that, but before they get into design, or as you guys are negotiating, I think that's important. So I do want to open it up for public comment. You all have seen an e-comment that we received, which I think is really about two subjects on our agenda tonight. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but the essence of it, it's asking a question about whether the Jays could have had their dorms, if you will, on site. It was not the city of Dunedin that said no. It was the county that said no. So we weren't allowed to allow that. They have to pay bed tax. That was part of the negotiation with the county, that when they have a transient, wherever they stay, currently they stay in hotels, spread out all over the place. They want something where they're all together and have a meeting room, which I totally understand, but it can't be on our property, because they wouldn't be paying property taxes. It's not zoned for that there. In addition, they have to pay bed tax, which is the 40-some million dollars that the county gave to the Jays to build the stadium. So they're essentially reimbursing the bed tax by paying that. And so it was a county negotiation. So that is why they're searching out another location. So hopefully that answers the question that.
Yeah, but I appreciate that, because I've had a couple individuals come to me, you know, Dave, Mr. Pauly was one, and with the concern, and of course, in my due diligence as the Toronto Blue Jays liaison, I wasn't really sure of the history. I tried to figure out the history. I've talked to our staff to kind of re-vet it, even though it's after the game. I wasn't obviously here when that decision was made. But, and obviously I went and we looked at the zoning land use, and the land use would, right off the bat is a problem, and it would be complicated, and no guarantees it would get changed, or that the neighborhood would welcome it. So that history, I did not know that piece of the history.
And it's also a concern with the Phillies negotiations now, because they wanted dorms on the property. then they took it away, now they've added it back, and I am quite sure that whatever the county negotiates, and I don't know what that is, but however it lands, it's going to be where they are paying full boat, you know, for their own stuff, and that they're paying all the appropriate taxes and fees and everything else that goes along with that transient lodging. So that's the way it went. And plus, we didn't feel like we had enough room there. I mean, there's not enough room for what's being asked for where our park building is. There's not enough room for all that. In addition, there's nowhere at the salon complex for them to walk to get anything. They would have to be transported because there's no restaurants. I mean, there's a little breakfast place, or now it's a French place, but it's a little bit of a jog there, and a convenience store, but there's nothing. Whereas what they've done is found a location that they can walk to the grocery store, to the drugstore, to several restaurants, to the dollar store, to the gas station that has a convenient, you know, mart there, and a Dunkin' Donuts. I mean, they have everything where they don't need to be in a car. So, you know, I think that's why they chose that location. But yeah, it wasn't going to work at Salon for them. So hopefully that explains everything for Mr. Pauley. And
Mayor?
Yes, ma'am.
If I may, just before
Sure.
we go to public input, and just for the record, as you know, we have been negotiating this agreement for a year and a half in different locations. I understand that there is a time issue for the Blue Jays, so we may be calling special meetings, subject to all the correct notification of the Architectural Review Committee and the local planning agency to review this development agreement, subject to all the, finishing all the negotiations. I just wanted to state that for the record.
In advance.
Yes.
And I think everybody can appreciate that, given that it has taken so long, you know. But it'll all be accessible to the public and.
And everybody be properly noticed,
Yep.
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, anyone in the audience wish to come forward and speak to this item? Please, give us your name and address for the record, and Rebecca, will you start the clock? Thank you.
Okay. Nancy Baker, 2570 Gary Circle.
Sorry.
Just once, I'm sorry, it was, some reason it was, said it.
Go ahead.
There we go, I'm sorry.
Sorry about that, Nancy.
Okay. I've owned my condo at 2570 Gary Circle for 17 years. And I've noticed through the years just how worse the traffic is, especially on weekends.
Yeah.
When I heard of the Jay's proposal to build the hotel, and how they would be transported by bus back and forth, I really thought that it was a fine project. Also, I was impressed with the original architectural renderings, and hearing tonight that they need to be changed, you know, with the additional property. I did learn a lot tonight by being here. But I'm also a member of the Dunedin Causeway Association. And for a long time, we haven't been happy with the vacant lots on the Causeway Boulevard. Yeah. And again, we're looking at the chance to have a viable business that would fit our needs also. And we hope that you can see yourselves clear to support it also.
Thank you very much. Appreciate
Thank you,
that.
everyone.
And just so you know, I don't think we're looking to change the style. I think we all like the coastal, and that's what we're looking for. It's just there are techniques that I'm not privy to. It's not my expertise, but there are techniques to make it not look like a big flat wall, and that's all I was trying to say, is try to break it up a little bit so that it doesn't look like a big monster.
Yeah, for me, it's the gateway to Honeymoon Island.
Right.
Caladesi. People come there that aren't even Dunedin locals. They're
Right.
coming from all over. And
It's
the
gotta look good.
visuals are everything
It is.
for us. And I know with the, I'm forgetting the name of the restaurant,
Frenchies?
Frenchie's, 2 properties
Yeah.
there. Really made it really,
Pop.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Anybody else wish to come forward? Okay, I'm going to come back to the commission. Can I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Commissioner Franny and Commissioner Kynes, and what we are approving is giving the authorization to negotiate, to the city manager to negotiate. You've heard all of our comments. They're on record. The developers heard our comments. The Jays have heard our comments. Any final comments from anybody? Sure.
You know, I don't think all of us love coastal vernacular. I mean, it's not always perfect everywhere. So I'm just going to go on record that, you know, and you can do really cool variations on every single style. It doesn't have to, you know, coastal vernacular doesn't have to look like all the other coastal vernaculars. You can really add and subtract and make it a unique project.
Thank you.
Mayor, if I may. Just the comments about the density, I also just don't want anybody to forget about concerns about the sidewalk
Yeah.
and making sure
Yeah,
that
having
there's
it
room
back
there
and,
and,
right.
you know,
Yes.
multimodal.
Yeah, because when that bridge gets built,
Yeah.
you know, they're going to have a big wide bike lane, and that'll be hopefully before I die sometime, you know. There may be an opportunity to widen some sidewalks as that connection from the trail.
Yes.
Anybody else?
Probably a good place for a blue jay on the side, you know, for a mural, you know, that might look nice too.
Would be nice.
We're way early for that, sorry, Doug.
It's the jaywalk.
Well,
Weeds.
there will be public art as a part of this, maybe. Okay. All right, let's do a roll call vote, please.
Vice Mayor Gao,
Aye.
Commissioner Chornga,
Aye.
Commissioner Kynes,
Aye.
Commissioner Franny,
Aye.
Mayor Buszowski.
Aye, that motion passes unanimously. Thank you. You guys don't have to stick around if you don't want to. We're giving you permission to get out. Thank you, thank you.
Oh, and look who's staying.
Good evening, everyone.
Good
How are we
evening.
doing?
Good. So now we have our first reading of Ordinance 2131, Historical Landmark Designation for 455 Scotland Street. Nikki, would you please read Ordinance 2131 by title only?
Absolutely, Mayor. Ordinance number 21-31, an ordinance of the City of Dunedin, Florida, designating the home located at 455 Scotland Street as a historic landmark and providing for an effective date. Mayor and Commissioners, this has been reading of Ordinance 21-31 on first reading by title only.
Can I have a motion to approve?
Jeff, do you want to make this motion?
Well, I do want to, before I do anything, I just need to acknowledge that I am on the board of First Presbyterian Church. And so I just want to make sure that there is no conflicts with my vote tonight. And also just to acknowledge that when the church talked about it and voted, I abstained from the vote there just to try and be,
Kosher.
yeah,
I
extra clean.
understand. I don't understand or don't know what the rules regulating your board are from that perspective. But for Chapter 112, that does not constitute a voting conflict of interest. So you are welcome to make the motion and to participate in this matter, Commissioner.
I assumed as such, but wanted the public to hear it. So I proudly make a motion.
Vice Mayor Gow, and I'm going to put Commissioner Kynes as the seconder. Okay. Welcome.
All right, thank you so much for having me. Molly Cord, Planner 1.
Just give me 1 second, Molly. I want to introduce you because Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners, it's George Kinney on behalf of the Community Development Department. And most of you probably know Molly by now, but I wanted to kind of formally introduce her. She came to us from the county a couple of months ago. And let me tell you, she hit the ground running. And she has been nothing short of awesome. And I think I think Dunedin should be very proud to have Molly on the team. So with that, I will turn it over to Molly for her first presentation to you all.
Can I say something? It's been such a pleasure to work with Molly. She's trying to keep us all under control in the Historic Preservation Advisory Committee. She's very good, and welcome.
Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate that.
Welcome, welcome.
Thank you. All right. Molly Cord, Planner 1, on behalf of Community Development Department. So tonight, we have two ordinances. The first one that I'm going to discuss is Ordinance 21-31455 Scotland Street for the First Presbyterian Church of Dunedin. The applicant, who is Dr. Reverend David Scheller, I don't know if, hi, how are you?
He's here.
So he is the applicant. He's seeking to place a historic landmark designation, and so I would like to kind of show you the aerial. This, I'm sure everybody is familiar with it. Let's see, and this is the parcel information associated with it. It's multifamily residential. You can kind of see the surrounding parcels around the church, and this was a painting that we were able to find of the First Presbyterian Church of Dunedin.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So this is kind of the images of the structure. It's of the east elevation, and I kind of want to just go over the background from the staffing report that I did. So just to give you some perspective, the First Presbyterian Church was a gift from then prominent Dunedin personality L.B. and Mary Skinner of the L.B. Skinner Manufacturing Company. Wow. Originally began as a $60,000 donation. L.B. Skinner not only played the role as an architect, but provided the church's new organ and sanctuary. Additionally, L.B. Skinner took part in the laying of the foundation, and the event was actually delayed to an error in the cutting of the stone. This ceremony would then take place on a Tuesday afternoon, July 5th, 1926. So to kind of give you some background of the architecture, structure was built in 1926 in the Spanish Revival architectural style, a style inspired from Mediterranean Revival. The architectural style of Spanish Revival originated in the early 20th century from the Southern California region, inspired by the state's Hispanic heritage. The original structure displayed elements of this architectural style with its Spanish red-tiled roof, half-rounded windows and doors, which you can see in the east elevation, and its dense stucco walls packed with crushed shell originally used for insulation. During its course of age, the sanctuary was remodeled in 1961, where it was decorated with Byzantine architectural nods to the structure's existing archways and added beautification to include the colorful yet symbolic stained glass windows. So you can kind of see them in the north elevation here, and with the west elevation too. So the First Presbyterian Church intends to designate this property as a historic landmark to celebrate the church's prominent history in Dunedin and its significant impact of outreach within the community. Both staff and Historic Preservation Advisory Committee find the request consistent with the applicable review criteria, and therefore the staff recommendation is to approve Ordinance 21-31.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Are there questions for Molly? No? No. Okay, is there any public input on this item? Feel free to come forward.
You got a million, if you want. Do you want to talk?
I'd like to, there's one thing I do want to check. David Sheeler, pastor of First Presbyterian Church. I did want to make sure we clarified our request is just for the 1926 sanctuary and not the rest of the facility, although I understand the committee is asked to include the garden that's on the
Yeah, but
east side.
it's just the sanctuary.
Right, but just the sanctuary. Cool, but Molly, thank you for your work. Yeah.
Thanks.
Great, thank you. Anybody else? Okay, so we have three members sitting up here of the church. So that's kind of, I think that's kind of historic too, right? I'm a member of your sister church on the other end of town. So I'm a good Presbyterian.
Our daughter church.
Yeah, oh, yes, that's true, your daughter church, okay.
I'm a different religion.
And again, since none of you stand to personally gain or lose from this decision, it's not a conflict of interest.
Thank you. Thank you, okay. I will come back to you, Vice Mayor.
I'm tickled pink. Yeah, I'm so excited about this. So I want to thank Molly, want to thank Commissioner Kynes, the Historic Preservation Committee, the church members, everybody. This is an exciting time.
Very good. Commissioner Kynes?
You know, I did want to point out that those fabulous gates, they were added, but they are antique gates that were taken from another home in Tampa. So those gates they were added, but they're of the time period, and they were particularly found from some sort of demolition or whatever in Tampa. I love the gates, too.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
Yeah. So, yeah, congratulations. You all have worked so hard, and you got the sesquicentennial. And so, all congratulations. It's such a beautiful sanctuary. We're so proud that you all are being historically preserved. Thank you.
Commissioner Tornga?
Very nice.
Commissioner
Does it
Freeman?
include the bell?
It does.
Yeah.
So when I see this, I think about 1999.
Yeah.
When I think it was noon on June 1st of 1999, 100 years after incorporation of the city, and the churches all rang their bells. And it was awesome. And your church's bell, it was the oldest bell, so everybody's really was very excited about it. So it's very exciting. It's a special place and has a special meaning in history for Dunedin, so congratulations.
Very cool. I couldn't say it any better. But what's really cool about this is that, so many churches over time eventually sell their property. They try to reorg somewhere else and it doesn't work out. This church has stood the test of time. The historical designation will help it stand even more of a test in time. Gives it a protection factor, and it also shows people how special it is to the community. So that makes me feel really good. We will have one more hearing, I believe. I don't have my, yes. When is the next one?
November 4th.
November 4th, okay. So on November 4th, we will have a second reading on this, but nothing should go wrong or happen. You come on up. You need to say something.
You might have, first, I thought of a couple more things I did want to say. One, actually, sort of interesting. On my way over here, I walked over from the church, and I was passing the sanctuary. There was this young woman, a woman I supposed to be her mom, and a photographer, and the young woman was dressed up in a ballet tutu and tights and pointe shoes, having pictures taken in front of the church. And I thought, well, that's kind of cool and very appropriate to coming here tonight for this purpose. I do, though, more than anything, want to offer again my thanks to Molly and to you all as the commission, and particularly Commissioner Kynes, the work of you and the Historic Preservation Committee. I think one of the things that I appreciate so much about what the city has done in its historic preservation attempts and the way that this has been framed is that there's not an attempt here to preserve our history in some sort of plastic perfection as if it's a museum artifact, but allow us to have a really living, breathing history, that we recognize these roots feed what we are doing today, and to allow that growth to happen, to recognize the rich soil that we get to pull from, and yet the way that impacts us today. And so many thanks to all the work that, again, the Commission has done, Commissioner Kynes has done, and the Historic Preservation Committee have done. I think you've put together a great project and plan, so thank you. We're glad to be able to be part of it.
Thank you.
So when you come back on the 4th, that's when we'll present the plaque. But also, you'll be happy to know on the agenda is where we are going to discuss changing the designation of the zoning for the Gladys Douglas Preserve. And if that subsequently passes, it could only be sold as a referendum. So that's a huge protection factor, and you were such a huge supporter in the very early days by coming out, you and your church, by coming out and saying, we don't care about the money that might be, that we might be a benefactor of. We want you to preserve this. I mean, that really was the first step in igniting the community. And so, and that came from you and your parishioners, and so that's pretty special. So you get to be here for that first reading.
That'll be
So,
great. That'll be a wonderful,
It'll be a nice,
great celebration, yeah.
a nice thing.
We'll also have a proclamation celebrating 150 years of the church on that night.
Oh, that's right.
Try to
Yeah,
say
so we really, you guys are gonna just be,
Layer.
we're all gonna be crying the whole
It'll be
darn
a
time,
great
you know?
It will be.
But, excuse me, but it won't be anything as good as when you come in on the boat 3 days.
That's true. That's true. On November the 7th, I'll be reenacting our founding pastor, Joseph Brown's landing in the marina in 1868.
Wow.
Well, that we did learn recently, we understand that Reverend Brown took a look around for a while and actually left
That's funny.
before he came back and founded the
That's
church.
That's funny.
But yeah.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, let's do a roll call vote.
Commissioner Twanga,
Aye.
Commissioner Franny,
Aye.
Commissioner Kynes,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Gao,
Aye.
Mayor Bushowski.
Aye, and that motion passes unanimously. Thank you, guys. You don't have to stick around if you don't want to. Then we have the next item is the first reading of Ordinance 2136, the historical landmark designation for 706 Wood Street. Nikki, would you please read that ordinance by title only?
Ordinance 21-36, an ordinance of the City of Dunedin, Florida, designating the home located at 706 Wood Street as a historic landmark and providing for an effective date. And this has been reading of Ordinance 21-36 on first reading by title only.
Thank you, Nikki.
So moved.
Okay, Commissioner Kynes, who's gonna be our?
Second.
Okay, Vice Mayor Gal, there you go.
Oh, we got the thing going on.
Yeah. All right, you're up.
All right, once again, Molly Cord, Planner One, on behalf of Community Development. This is Ordinance 21-36 for 706 Wood Street. The applicant is Joan Morrow, and hi, Joni, how are you? It's nice to meet you in person. Yeah.
Who was also a member of First Presbyterian Church, I'll
Right.
say.
First President's taken over.
Great. Okay, so
A lot of good people there.
So, as I stated, she's seeking to place a historic landmark at 706 Wood Street. Just to give you some background, this is the aerial map of the location of the structure. This is the parcel information. And this is the south elevation of the structure. So I'm going to give you some background. The structure is an early 1920s home in the Tudor architectural style and historically utilized as the residential home of Mr. and Mrs. William C. Neely. Mr. Neely was the secretary of the City of Dunedin's Chamber of Commerce in 1926. Additionally, Mr. Neely spent many years involved in the community working for the city's zoning committee and city commissioner. In April of 1927, Mr. Neely would sell the residential structure to a Dr. J.A. Meese and family. Dr. Meese came to the city of Dunedin with hopes of opening a medical practice of his own within the community. Dr. Meese would then establish the 120-bed diagnostic facility, which is presently known today as the Meese Dunedin Hospital. The structure replicates a Tudor-style flare with the original fascia and a unique front-facing gable, as you can see in the south elevation. Additionally, the complexity of the roofline details a traditional false thatched attribute that captures the natural textured appearance of the Tudor architectural style, a style that was once prominent in rural England. This is kind of the west and east elevations of the property. And you can kind of see a little bit of that thatched roof, too, along the north elevation. The current owner, Joan Morrow, has lived there for 18 years and has added interior decorations and pieces of furniture to reflect the time period. The owner would like to designate this property as a historic landmark to not only preserve the revival of Tudor architecture, but to celebrate the history of the home's previous residents that supported the community of Dunedin. Therefore, staff and Historic Preservation Committee find the request consistent with the applicable review criteria, and therefore the staff recommendation is to approve Ordinance 21-36.
Okay, are there any questions on this property? Okay. Anyone from the public wish to come forward and speak?
I just want to thank Molly. I knew it was famous for some reason, but she brought it out.
It was fun.
It's so unique. It's such
Yeah.
a unique house.
You've got to come forward. You've got to come and speak in the microphone.
William Neely and Dr. Meese lived there. I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know that.
Pretty cool though,
So
right?
thank you
Yeah,
so
it was really fun to research, so.
Thank you.
Very cool.
Thank you.
It's a beautiful.
Well, and thank you for your willingness to do this.
Yeah, thank you.
It really is great.
My pleasure.
Thank you, Joan.
Anybody else? Okay, any final comments, Commissioner Kynes?
You know, I just wanted to, Joan, I think this was a question whether you wanted it, do you want it to be the Neely house or the Meese house?
Oh my gosh, I am mixed because I told her Neely just because he built the house. I don't know.
Well,
To be
I think
honest, I don't know.
he built it and then almost immediately, J.A. Meese, isn't that J.A.?
Yeah, Jack.
Jack Meese bought the house. So, you know, it's sort of a interesting,
think
but
the
I would
plaque's
say.
been made.
I already ordered the plaque.
Yeah, plaque's been made.
Oh, okay. But I mean, but you also asked me if we had asked her. Yeah, and so you said, have you talked to Joan about what she wants it named? So I just was following up.
Got you. Okay,
Okay,
sorry.
any final comments?
Just, Joan, thank you for bringing this forward. That is a beautiful, beautiful home. Thank you.
Yeah, I couldn't say that any better. Thanks, Joan, and it is, it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous.
Enjoyed it.
Yeah, thank you.
And well-maintained.
Yeah.
Commissioner Torga?
Beautiful.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you.
Well, I think we're all excited you'll be back on the 4th too, for the second reading, where you'll be presented your plaque. And we're just excited to keep doing this. And again, thank you, Commissioner Kynes, for your dogged persistence to get more historical landmarks in our city. Appreciate that.
I've just hit the jackpot tonight.
You did.
Yeah.
Very good.
It's just gorgeous. Thank you.
Okay, roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Franny,
Aye.
Commissioner Twonga,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Gao,
Aye.
Commissioner Kynes,
Aye.
Mayor Bajowski.
Aye, and that motion passes unanimously.
You know, I'm just excited about the 4th when we can find out the big reveal on what the name is.
Yeah,
There you go, right.
don't tell us.
I think she was getting ready to,
Surprise, guys.
yeah, it's a surprise.
All right, thank you. You guys don't have to stick around unless you want to. Okay. Now we have the second reading of Ordinance 21-35, amending Chapter 58, Pensions and Retirement, Firefighters Retirement System of the Code of Ordinances for the City of Dunedin. Nikki, can you please read Ordinance 21-35 by title only?
Ordinance number 21-35, an ordinance of the City of Dunedin amending Chapter 58, Pensions and Retirement, Article 2, Retirement, Division 2, Firefighters Retirement System of the Code of Ordinances of the City of Dunedin, amending Section 5856, Benefit Amounts and Eligibility, amending Section 5857, Pre-Retirement Death, amending Section 5860, Optional Forms of Benefits, amending Section 5866, Minimum Distribution of Benefits, amending Section 5880, Share Plan Benefit, providing for severability of provisions, repealing all ordinance in conflict herewith, and providing for an effective date. And this has been reading of Ordinance 21-35 on second reading by title only.
Thank you. Can I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Franny and Vice Mayor Gao. Teresa?
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, City Commission. This is Director, I am Director. It's been
a long day.
Teresa Swan, Director of HR and Risk Management, and as Attorney Day said, these are amending sections of the firefighter retirement plan system, and I can entertain any questions that you may have.
Okay. Any questions? This is all just sort of housekeeping stuff, changing with the laws and all that.
Updating
So there's
internal revenue
there's no
code
cost
stuff.
to this or anything?
Yes, in accordance with changes to the Internal Revenue Code
Right.
and some redundant language that was found in there.
Gotcha. Okay. Anybody from the public wish to come forward and speak to this item? Seeing here now, I'll come back to the commission. Any final comments from anyone? Pretty
No final
routine?
comments.
Okay. Roll call vote, please.
Commissioner Kynes,
Aye.
Commissioner Twonga,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Gao,
Aye.
Commissioner Franny,
Aye.
Mayor Bajowski.
Aye, and that motion passes unanimously. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. All right, and then we have a supplement, the construction services for repurposing the former Toronto Blue Jays Player Development Complex into a parks maintenance facility, which is kind of what we were referring to when we were talking earlier about the Jays Hotel. Vince?
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, City Commissioners. I really tried to get this seat on Tuesday, but Coca-Cola beat me to it. But I'm happy to be back this evening because this is an exciting project for our park staff. So during our spring training negotiations with the Toronto Blue Jays, it was determined that the Blue Jays didn't need the use of their former clubhouse located off of Solon Avenue once the new player development complex was completed. Our thoughts at that time were instead of demolishing a 19-year-old city building, we should explore repurposing and possibly use it as a park maintenance facility. And this gets our employees out of the Jones building as well as a more suitable location for the park's operation. On July 9th, 2019, the City Commission awarded a contract to the Lunds Group to provide architectural services for the conversion of the former clubhouse into a Parks Division maintenance facility. Once the design for repurposing was completed and the Blue Jays relocated into their new home, the project was advertised and bid. On September 23rd, 2021, the city received 5 bid submittals. Delato and Sons Incorporated submitted the lowest responsive bid in the amount of $1,215,477, and that was inclusive of a $37,700 add alternate was to actually repaint all the offices in the building. This amount was under budget by a little over $100,000. The project includes demolition of interior walls and partitions, installation of 4 garage doors, restroom and plumbing renovations, AC improvements, electrical improvements, exterior work, removing signage and painting. A generator hookup and pad will be installed, and storage bins for clay, sand, rocks, and shell, and whatever else we need to use to maintain our fields. Delato and Sons has been in business for over 75 years. They have 30 full-time employees, several similar renovation projects, which I have a short list of. The project should take approximately 5 months, should begin late November and go through April. And we also have permission from the Blue Jays. They're fine with us working straight through spring training. A lot of the work up front is going to be the demolition, which will be the noisy part of the job. So once we get into the interior, we should be okay to continue working. All references came back favorable. Contract is licensed and insured. City staff is recommending award of this construction contract to J.O. Delato and Sons, Inc. of Tampa, Florida, in the amount of $1,215,477. And also, Paul Stanik's here to help answer any engineering questions. Also, Matt Cummings is our construction manager with the engineering division. He's also the construction manager on Pioneer Park. So they're here if there's any detailed engineering questions to be responded to.
Please tell me we're not getting into engineering questions tonight.
I do have a question, but it's not engineering.
Okay.
I just wanted to be prepared.
Go ahead.
Vince, will this really look that much different than what's there now? I mean, from the exterior and equipment and things like that, will it really have a different look?
No. The exterior of the building will remain the same, with the exception of 2 garage doors on the south side of the building.
It's not like there's going to be a ton of extra big, huge equipment or whatever, like anything like that.
No, and then in the back area of the parking lot, as I mentioned, there'll be the bins to store the clay and sand and other materials.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Is there any solar included?
I'm sorry,
Is there any solar included in the project?
no solar.
Okay. Disappointing.
What is our policy on that?
Yeah. Good question.
It's a certain amount of dollar value remodel, I think, when we do something?
No, we don't have that policy in place.
Okay.
We have that for public art,
Right.
but we don't have the policy in place for a remodel like this.
Gotcha.
Just new buildings?
So that solar will be on our new buildings? Is that Is that the bottom line, Jennifer?
No, we didn't adopt a
I don't think we've
solar
put any,
requirement.
no, but I think that's going to be a part of the, isn't that part
Dream
of the
plan.
dream?
So we did not adopt an ordinance requiring solar on new construction.
And in this case too, something, add that we're not doing anything with the roof either. So,
Mhm.
you know, we're making some additional holes in the walls and we're rebuilding on the inside, but we're not doing any work to the roof itself, which would, you know, at that point in time, I think we would then look at that and do a new roof with solar if we were doing any kind of roof adjustments.
That makes some sense.
I guess.
Okay.
You know, I only know one engineering term, and
And
that's.
she has to say it.
Well,
I'm just
it's the angle of repose. That's all I know, engineering.
What'd you say, angle of what?
The angle of repose.
What's that?
And all the engineers in the room laugh.
Yeah, so.
So nobody.
In a good way, because they're the only ones that know what you're talking about.
I don't want to know what it is.
angle at which a slope wants to return to natural grade.
When everything falls down.
I have one of those in my yard.
When everything falls down.
That includes me. I'm an angle of repose. Is that a Halloween costume? All right. Commissioner Tornga, any?
I just have a couple really quick ones. I should have asked these when I spoke with the city manager, and I didn't think of them then. I just thought of them actually today while I was reviewing this really fast. How much of an impact is this going to have on the neighborhood actually? So we're talking about some destruction, but it sounds to me like it's more internal.
It's mostly internal.
I wasn't concerned about that quite so much because as I looked at it and when I saw the pictures on the presentation, it looked like it was just going to be kind of ripping out through inside. And
That's correct.
thank you.
We will have, after the pre-construction meeting, we'll make sure that everyone in the community is notified once we have a notice to proceed, and we will make sure that the trucks are going in and out in a certain direction, just like we did when we built the player development complex.
So it's less destruction and more construction, really,
Oh,
from the
it's
inside.
both.
Well, it's inside, but it's mostly repurposing, it really is what
It
it
absolutely
really
is.
That's what it is. And then also, we're talking about some noise, and I think that is not probably very significant here, but is it?
There will be noise.
So
It won't be much
be for
because
short
it'll be internal to the building.
Okay.
So most of the noise will be, and most of the noise will be in the first month of the project. Then after that, it's pretty quiet.
Yeah, and it shouldn't be any more than cheering fans for either when our Little League was up there or when the spring training ball players are in town and doing their practices before the actual spring training games.
So obviously, the Dunedin team isn't concerned about it, and so it sounds to me like it's.
I've met with them, and they have no concern about it.
And then lastly, on something like this, how much of the crew, when they do, in this particular case, how much of the crew are contractors to the contractor?
It's not going to be more than 20 people.
Okay. Thank you.
My questions are a little off topic, but connected to this, and I don't know if you can answer. Salon, when is Salon, Solon, I know you guys call it, I've called it Salon my whole life. When is that getting repaved? Do you know, Jorge?
I don't know off the top.
Because it needs it.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm assuming we're waiting till all the construction is done, but I would say it would be a huge benefit to the neighborhood, a gift back, if you will, for putting up with all the construction, because that road needs some work.
well, if you recall, also, we're doing a force main project now on.
Yep.
And the lift station as well.
Yeah.
Right.
One of my projects is a new lift station on Salon.
Yeah, the house we bought.
Yes.
Yep, got it, okay. I just know that it's a road I drive a lot, and it's not in very good condition, but I also understand we didn't want to do a lot to it with all the construction trucks going on it, so I forgot about okay.
If you recall, the eastern half is the county.
Well, you've got relationships over there. No, but it should be coordinated, so.
We'll be happy to let them chip in and when we go to resurface it, and they can pay for their portion as well.
Okay. And then the property, well, tell me this first, Vince. The benefit of moving out of the Jones Building and moving into this building once it's, done. Just talk about that a little bit.
We'll have much more space. We're moving out of an 18,000 square foot building into a 30,000 square foot building. The space that mainly is impacted for us is the garage area, which will be about 20,000 square feet, just that area. The offices are remaining primarily the same. We'll have better locker space. We'll have more space on the property to begin with. It's very jammed up, the parking area. So there's those benefits. And I think as far as location goes, we're still in very good shape from a location, throughout all our parks.
Okay.
To work on all our parks.
And
also, there is one more thing to the project. We are installing the wiring for a generator and pad, and then I believe we are going to be getting a generator. The one, right?
You get our leftovers.
Yes.
That's good, though.
There's another engineering term.
Yeah.
And the furnishings, there's a lot of furnishings that are very good that the Blue Jays left. Desks and file cabinets, and we may have to supplement that, some miscellaneous office furniture.
Well, and the Jones Building, which you'll be moving out of, was identified as functionally obsolete 20 years ago.
At least.
It's like an airline hangar over there, or used to be the teen center when I was a kid. That's where there were boxing club. Oh yeah.
Storage until the.
Yeah, so it's pretty bad. I mean, I wouldn't want to be in that building with a lightning storm or something. Anyway,
it's seen its days.
Yeah. So this is actually a much cheaper option for us. It's an already existing building that's already on our land that we can just repurpose versus, building a new one or whatever. So, and then the idea at this point is still to sell the land that the Jones Building is on?
So we had counted that revenue in City Hall.
Right.
When we developed City Hall and the finance plan for City Hall, there is interest in the community regarding that building. So if that's the case, if there's a different use for it, which of course is the final decision will be yours, then we would need to back that out of that financial plan for City Hall. But it's on the tax rolls, I think, for $600,000.
Yes, on the property appraiser's web.
Yeah, we have been on site with two not-for-profits. We're very concerned about the condition of the building, though.
Yeah.
So, and they understand that too.
Okay, so right, but it is in our financing plan that we approved.
It is, yes.
That it would be sold.
And we would need to address that.
Yeah, okay. All right, well, and anybody that was watching this, I just wanted them to have a complete story of what's happening and not just hear it in snippets. This has been a part of a long-term plan that we've had. Okay.
I have to tell you, our parks employees are really, really.
I'm sure
I don't want to be
excited.
too premature with this before you vote, but they are really excited about taking this building. In fact, we'll be touring it with them once we know that it's going to be. If it gets approved tonight, they'll be up there tomorrow, and it'll probably take us about a day.
Should we talk about it for another hour?
Well, I did ask our park supervisor to come this evening at about 7:30, so I didn't think we'd be this early. So, Pete Wells.
Oh, well.
He was here with me on Tuesday.
Yeah, very good. Okay, anybody from the public wish to speak to this item? All right, can I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Commissioner Franny and Commissioner Kynes, any final comments for anybody?
I definitely do. Having experienced the Jones Building over, many of the years that I was actually a staff person, boy, I want to use a word that probably isn't appropriate, but, as in it's kind of a piece of crap. I am really happy that finally our park staff will get, a facility that, is worthy, they're worthy of. And so I really did want to make the motion because, it's long overdue for that building, definitely. And so this is exciting.
Commissioner Kynes?
They deserve it. Long overdue.
Commissioner Tornga?
I have nothing further to add.
Vice Mayor?
Yeah, there's no doubt that the Jones Building has seen better days, but because the new building does not have solar, I will be voting no on this.
Okay. And I appreciate your conviction. I'm also excited about this, but, for all the reasons everybody's already said, but I think it's really important when a city undertakes 2 studies on all of their facilities and you have direction from, a number of consultants that tell you the condition of your facilities and tell you so that you can plan accordingly in your long-term capital plan when things need to be replaced or remodeled or whatever. I think it's important that we follow through. And for a long time, we couldn't do that when the Great Recession happened. And so every time we check off the list another building, I'm happy because I feel like we're doing the basic job we were given to do and being good stewards of public funds and take care of the facilities that they own. So I appreciate that. I'm glad we got it in. It's been a long time coming. And our employees deserve to have a decent place to work. And no offense, but the Jones Building ain't it. So, can we do a roll call vote, please?
Vice Mayor Gao,
No.
Commissioner Tornga,
Aye.
Commissioner Kynes,
Aye.
Commissioner Franny,
Aye.
Mayor Buszowski.
Aye, and that motion passes 4-1.
Thank you.
But Mayor?
Thank you. Yep.
Not about this, well, you'll like this comment. The only facility that just lingers in my head still that needs to be done is our pool.
Yeah.
And so that will be a really happy day. I can't think of another one right off the top of my head. That one will be our last big,
Hurrah, the last big hurrah. On the FASNA, whatever it is.
Exactly.
Is there something, but public transport where they fix the cars? What's that called?
Oh, Fleet. Yes.
Fleet's on that list somewhere too.
Yeah,
I think Fleet's on that list.
Where we've had discussions about that, just as an FYI, and looking at maybe some design towards the end of this decade and looking for the next penny. So would love to have that as our premier project for the next penny. So.
Cool. Very good.
Very good. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, and then we have the proposed agenda for November 4th. Well, hang on, because there's a change that needs to occur.
To be.
There is a change that needs to occur.
I move those changes.
Because it says on there, the second reading, I think,
We had to leave it on.
of the,
Correct.
Correct. So that will.
so that will change.
That can just disappear. Yeah.
Right.
Well, that
or
will come
just-
off.
Huh?
2B will come off entirely
Yes.
Right.
and
Disappear, that was a better word.
There you go.
disappear. That's a legal
Yeah.
term.
Okay, because that's not coming back, but there was something else that got moved to, oh, it's on there, the annual performance, I see that, but wasn't there something else that got moved to the 4th? No, it's all on here, okay.
Mayor, I actually do have one item with your approval of moving forward with the parking lot transfer on Tuesday morning at your work session. There are 2 items needed from the financing team to get your financing tracking and the same as the real estate. Remember, I explained you're not going to see anything further on the real estate agreements, but there's one additional document that needs to be added to 2E, Rebecca, and that's an interlocal agreement between the CRA and the City Commission. And then, Mayor and Commissioners, there are 2 items that you'll need to consider in your capacity as the governing body of the CRA. Now, you already have your regular CRA meeting scheduled for November 18th, but because of the timing of the financing transaction and the closing on the parking lot, they need to do this sooner. If you all don't have to come at 5 to do a CRA meeting, we can notice the CRA decision within your City Commission meeting, but Mayor, that's really that's mostly up to the schedule and the availability of the city commission. But I do just want to thank, on behalf of the, not only my law partners in the financing team, but then, some of the others that have been working, well, none of them are here now, but some of them were here earlier,
I'm
but.
booked.
Okay.
We have the Visit St. Pete Clearwater annual marketing
So we
production, and that goes on till 5 o'clock.
Well, so we can do it at the same, we can notice the CRA decision.
Have that at 6.
At 6, exactly.
And then we close it out, and then, okay.
Is that, if that's okay with the commission?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, and I know that Les and his team are really going to appreciate keeping those interest rates locked in and on track, so.
Okay.
Okay, that
So
sounds good.
it's going to be the 4th, but we'll start off at
Right.
6.
Start off at 6 as the CRA, so do the same notice, just start off at 6 at the CRA, and then immediately following, you can go into your city commission meeting.
Perfect.
So you basically notice both for the same time. Okay. I'll work with Rebecca on anything that she needs with language for the notice, for sure.
Okey-doke.
I know it's a little unconventional, so appreciate the
No, but
accommodation.
I appreciate that. I appreciate the fact that we don't,
Nope.
Yeah.
I was already thinking we were going to end up having a CRA meeting, and I was worried. And then it didn't show up in my calendar, and I was like, thank God, and then I booked all the time.
Well, that's okay. I knew there might have been a scheduling conflict with that, so we've got to work around.
Okay. So Commissioner Kynes is the motion maker.
I'll still second it.
Okay, Commissioner Tornga. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Jeff, you didn't get a chance to bring your item forward on Tuesday because we ran so long that you emailed us about. Do you want to?
If you don't mind?
I think, given the fact we're getting out of here so early, you've got a minute, a hot minute.
Oh, my goodness, I don't know what's on TV.
I'm teasing.
Yeah, y'all got my email. I tried to summarize it because I knew at least Tuesday was going to be pretty packed. But the idea is I think we're all aware that T-BART is doing a feasibility study on US 19 from Pasco County into at least central Pinellas on bus rapid transit, which is a fixed route. And what makes a bus route rapid is the reduced number of stops. Mm-hmm. And so all that I want to do is I want the commission to send a letter asking or trying to make sure that the corner of US 19 and 580 is considered one of the stops on the route, and send that letter to T-BARTA, to PSTA, to Ford Pinellas, to the City of Clearwater, just so that they're all aware of our ask and to ask them for their support as well.
Sure. You guys okay with that?
Yeah, I think it's great. You're just asking for a more streamlined with less stops on US 19.
Well, that's what they're doing.
Bus rapid
So with
transit.
those less stops, I just want to make sure that 580-19 is not left out.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, because that's our direct.
Right,
Yeah.
makes sense anyway, because the mall's there, you know,
Right.
I mean, but
Yeah, that'd
it's
be
a great,
sorta-
it's a great thing to send a letter in.
Yeah,
Okay, everybody okay with that?
perfect.
All right, you can work with Jennifer on it
Thank
or
you all
whatever.
very much. Appreciate that.
That was a hot minute.
It was a hot minute. Okay, anybody else have anything for the good of the order?
We ought to say happy, safe Halloween.
Oh, yeah, happy Halloween.
We won't be,
Everyone's had
the
too long of a week to remember it's next week.
well, I mean, it's next week, but we won't be around.
That's true.
True.
We will not.
So we should
Everyone-
have worn costumes.
And the witches are out in Dunedin. We know
Yeah,
that.
be sure to go see the
Witches are
witches.
out.
Be sure to go see the Pipers on the Pier.
And there's the downtown trick or treat. And then when are they doing at the Parks and Rec, aren't they doing the Great Pumpkin thing?
Oh, yeah, but I don't know the date. I don't know.
But, I mean, so there's tons of
Saturday, right?
things for
On the website.
everybody. There's a trunk or treat at First Pres. You all usually, do you have a trunk or treat?
I don't, not sure
First
what we're
Methodist?
doing.
But usually, but there's so many wonderful things
Yeah.
for all your
Benny goes
babies.
karting, they're doing.
Yep, they're doing their parade. Okay, we are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you for watching this City of Dunedin government meeting. If you'd like to review any part of this meeting or watch any previous government meeting coverage, you can watch these meetings online anytime through the city's website, dunedingov.com. Stay connected with everything Dunedin. Follow the city on this channel and on the city's Facebook page, through Twitter, and on the city's YouTube channel. Thanks again for watching this Dunedin television production.